Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Paul Heyman has been away from the Stamford-based promotion since late June, when he was kicked out of the bloodline by Solo Sikoa for not acknowledging him as the tribal chief. Since then, there's been rampant speculation about when he could return on TV to reunite with Roman Reigns and the USOs. While his on-screen return is still up in the air, recent reports suggest that Paul Heyman was in the gorilla position for Reigns and Usos' match against Sikoa and his bloodline stablemates at Crown Jewel 2024. Twinsider reports that Heyman, who has been a key member of the bloodline saga over the last few years, kept a close eye on how things panned out at the premium live event. Roman Reigns, Jimmy, and JUSO were left disappointed as Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu emerged victorious at the show. However, Sami Zayn's appearance has made it clear that WWE was keen on further extending this feud, potentially leading to a much-anticipated War Games match at Survivor Series 2024. In a shocking turn of events at WWE Crown Jewel 2024, Roman Reigns, WWE's long-standing tribal chief and reigning undisputed Universal Champion, suffered a rare pinfall loss. This was no ordinary defeat. Reigns had been almost invincible, his status nearly untouchable within the wrestling world for over 3 years. But as the dust settles on his surprising defeat, fans are now curious about the aftermath for those closely aligned with him, particularly Paul Heyman. The impact of Reigns' loss on his wise man and manager could lead to monumental shifts in the WWE landscape, as new reports have surfaced that suggest Heyman's role could undergo a significant transformation. Roman Reigns' loss at Crown Jewel was the culmination of a feud that had been building up for months, if not years. His opponent was an unexpected yet formidable challenger who somehow managed to break through the seemingly indomitable defenses of the tribal chief. The match was brutal, with Reigns holding his own, but ultimately succumbing to a surprise pin. It wasn't just any pinfall, it was the first time Reigns had been pinned cleanly since he assumed the mantle of the tribal chief and embarked on one of WWE's most impressive championship reigns. As Reigns lay in the ring, visibly stunned by his defeat, all eyes turned to Paul Heyman, his long-standing advocate, who seemed equally shocked. Known for his meticulous planning and unparalleled strategic thinking, Heyman's face was a picture of disbelief. Could this loss jeopardize Heyman's place by Roman's side? Would the loss reveal cracks in the once unshakable foundation of Reigns' dominance? Reports indicate that WWE's creative team is prepared to explore new dimensions in Heyman's character as a result of this seismic shift. To fully understand the potential impact of this loss on Paul Heyman, it's crucial to remember his storied relationship with Roman Reigns. After all, Heyman wasn't always in Reigns' corner. He initially gained fame as the ruthless advocate for Brock Lesnar, a role in which he earned a reputation for being as cunning as he was loyal. But when Reigns returned to WWE in 2020 with a new, darker edge and sought to establish himself as the tribal chief, he found in Heyman the perfect advisor to guide him through his journey to dominance. Heyman became Reigns' wise man, a trusted advisor who elevated Reigns' character and the bloodline storyline. Together, they formed one of the most compelling alliances in WWE history. Heyman's devotion to Reigns has been unwavering, and his presence added gravitas to Reigns' reign. For over 3 years, Heyman's influence ensured that the tribal chief stayed on top, defeating every challenger and overcoming every obstacle in his path. But in the wake of Reigns' pinfall loss at Crown Jewel, questions are now swirling about what this means for Heyman's future. Reports suggest that Heyman's allegiance to Reigns may be tested as new threats arise, both within and outside the bloodline. Sources close to WWE's creative team indicate that the aftermath of Crown Jewel could signal a turning point for Heyman. There are rumors of potential tension building between Reigns and his wise man, with Reigns possibly holding Heyman accountable for the loss. After all, as the tribal chief, Reigns demands loyalty and effectiveness from his inner circle, and Heyman has always taken pride in his ability to secure victories for his client. A loss of this magnitude is likely to weigh heavily on both men, raising questions about Heyman's future role and his ability to protect Reigns' interests. According to insiders, WWE Creative is considering multiple paths for Heyman's character. One possible direction would be for Heyman to work toward redeeming himself in Reigns' eyes, perhaps by orchestrating a plan to restore Reigns' dominance. Another path would see Heyman's loyalty faltering as he begins to explore alliances with other wrestlers, testing his long-standing partnership with Reigns. This potential inner turmoil within the bloodline could lead to significant developments, especially as other superstars seek to capitalize on Reigns' vulnerable position. Heyman's reaction to Reigns' loss could go in several different directions. Known for his unpredictability and strategic brilliance, Heyman might opt to remain loyal, doubling down on his efforts to help Reigns regain his footing. Heyman's loyalty is often fierce, and he might interpret Reigns' setback as an opportunity to reevaluate their strategy and correct any missteps. Alternatively, this defeat could serve as a catalyst for Heyman to reassert his autonomy. In recent years, he has been more restrained, opting to play the wise counselor instead of the aggressive advocate fans saw when he managed Brock Lesnar. Reigns' loss, however, may spur Heyman to revisit that more ruthless side of himself, making him more proactive in the storylines and perhaps even more combative with his own client. Some WWE insiders speculate that Heyman could consider aligning with a new superstar who has the potential to challenge Reigns directly. Heyman has always had a sharp eye for spotting talent and aligning himself with the biggest players in the game, so this could be a natural evolution of his character. After years of guiding Reigns, he may seek out a new client, potentially setting up a massive storyline that would pit him against the very superstar he helped build into the tribal chief. If Heyman's loyalty does come into question, it could have profound implications for the bloodline. As Reigns' advisor, Heyman has been the mastermind behind many of the faction's victories and strategic moves. If he begins to distance himself, either physically or mentally, it could send shockwaves through the bloodline, perhaps even leading to infighting among its members. This development would open up countless narrative possibilities. Without Heyman's guidance, Reigns might find himself more isolated than ever, creating a vulnerability that his rivals could exploit. Alternatively, the bloodline could find itself facing new internal conflicts, as members like Solo Sikoa or Jimmy Uso might start questioning their loyalty to Reigns if they sense that Heyman, their strategic linchpin, is no longer fully committed. Some fans have speculated that Heyman might try to recruit a faction of his own, perhaps aligning with superstars who are eager to bring down the tribal chief. This potential turn would not only shift Heyman's role, but could also set up one of the most intriguing storylines WWE has seen in years, a power struggle that pits Heyman against Reigns in a battle for the loyalty of the bloodline. While no official announcements have been made regarding Heyman's role, the tension brewing in the aftermath of Crown Jewel is palpable. WWE has always been adept at using real-life stakes to fuel storylines, and the possibility of a Heyman-Reigns split is a tantalizing prospect for fans. The uncertainty around Heyman's future could make for some must-see television, especially if WWE chooses to lean into this storyline and explore the nuances of loyalty, power, and strategy within the bloodline. For Reigns, losing Heyman's guidance would represent a huge shift. He has relied on Heyman not just as an advisor, but as a symbol of his authority and invincibility. Without Heyman, Reigns would face a new era in WWE, one in which he must rely on his own instincts and strength, unprotected by the man who has guided him through countless challenges. Roman Reigns' pinfall loss at Crown Jewel has created ripple effects that may reshape the WWE landscape, and Paul Heyman stands at the center of this storm. Whether Heyman chooses to remain loyal, forge new alliances, or confront Reigns directly, his actions in the coming weeks will have a lasting impact on WWE's storytelling and the trajectory of the Tribal Chief's reign. Fans are eagerly awaiting Heyman's next move, speculating on everything from a possible betrayal to an intensified alliance. Whatever unfolds, it's clear that Crown Jewel marks a turning point, not just for Reigns, but for Heyman as well. In the world of WWE, alliances are fragile, and loyalty is tested constantly. Only time will tell if Heyman and Reigns' partnership can weather this storm, or if Crown Jewel was the beginning of the end for one of the most iconic alliances in WWE history.